Hi, welcome to Merry Monday. I'm Joni Martin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Southwest Wisconsin. And each Monday, July through Christmas, I come to you with a Christmas card idea. Today, I'm sharing one of the best kept secrets from Stampin' Up! One of the cards from our Kids collection. Our Kids collection are available online, and sometimes I think that's why people miss them. We have a great Christmas card for you, and I can't wait to show it to you. So I'm going to open the box and show you what happens when you order one of our kits. First of all, they come in these fun boxes. I've used these to give gifts before. And then in the kits, you're going to get an ink spot. This one happens to be Poppy Parade. A set of stamps. So even when you're done with all the pieces in your kit, you still have some things left over. So it says, wishing you a Merry Christmas, may this holiday warm your heart, all is cozy and bright, celebrate the season, Happy Christmas and a joyous New Year, and perhaps my favorite one when you see what's on the front of the card, orange, you glad it's Christmas. I know someone I could send that pun to and they would love it. So the other thing that comes in your kit, I'm going to get the box out of the way. But seriously, look at this box. When you're all done, if you want to give the Christmas cards or cards from another kit, you could package them in there. So just like our paper pumpkin kits, you want to make sure when you open it, all your product is on one side, but your directions are on the back behind the cardboard. And I know that sometimes those directions get tossed with the cardboard with some of my paper pumpkin, and so I wanted to just point that out to you. Here's what else you get in the kit, a block. So truly, if you're giving this as a gift, if you're grabbing it to take on vacation, everything you need is right here. You're good to go. Some of these are even stickers. I mean, this is a great kit. Okay, these are dimensionals. We've talked about those before. Think of them as little pieces of foam that are sticky on each side. If you've watched me do card classes before, you know I say no naked envelopes. They took care of it for us. They must have been listening. Isn't that pretty? And I love this kind of orange and Christmas. I wouldn't have put it together, but when you think of spice cider and other things, I think there's a lot of people I could send this card to. So the directions show me what is included. There's a card base. These are all the pieces that are included, including the block. And it tells me on the back that it includes 12 cards and 12 envelopes. That's pretty good. And it also, because it's a Stampin' Up! Product, it coordinates with products I already have. So you know me, I'm not great at following directions, and maybe I want to make a couple and take the rest apart and do something else with them. I know what Stampin' Up! Colors to put with them. Okay, so we're going to set our directions aside. We're just taking a quick peek. This we don't need. And it's one. What all is included? These are stickers. These are not. You pop them out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I love this. So these are the tags that we're going to stamp to go on the card. And they give us 14 instead of 12 in case we muck one up. Isn't that great? And you could always turn it over and do it on the back, but how lovely of them. And these are our card bases. So you can stamp right on the inside, and I'm going to show you a couple tips and tricks for doing that. All right, let's take a second and talk about stamping before we assemble. So I love using my Stamparatus. And what I did was I traced around, and I'm sorry, it's pencil, folks. Not even sure you can see it. Should have thought of that. But I traced around the inside of my card. That will fit there. And then one of these little punch out pieces are going to fit there. And we'll stamp that in a second. We're going to go in order. But that's one option. But what if you don't have a Stamparatus yet? Because, you know, I think everyone needs a Stamparatus. Let me show you a quick tip for stamping with the block that comes with it. So here's our block. And remember that saying I said I love, like, orange you glad it's Christmas? Let's use that one. If you can line up on grid paper, it's just easier to get it straight. So I'm going to line mine up here. And I'm looking at that first row of print, and I have it on this line. I'm now going to take my block, and here's the important part. I'm just going to kind of drop it. And then I'm going to pick it up, and I'm good. All right, let's follow directions and make a card. So my first page just tells me what I have, what's included. There's like so little writing on this. If you have a teenager at home who loves to make cards, there's no writing. You have an elementary kid who loves to make cards. They could put this kit together because there's no writing. So step 1 points out the color of my ink and tells me to stamp that on the here. Now it doesn't tell me to stamp the inside of the card, but I'm going to do that just to show you. So I've set up the Stamparatus, and when you do that, when you open up your Stamparatus, put something so your plate lays flat. This is a stamp case that holds my stamp cleaner. It could be another stamp set. All right, and then because I've drawn on here, I'm going to make sure that it's back in the corner where it started. And it's telling me to stamp this piece, but we're going to stamp the inside too, because let's be efficient. So this is where my pencil lines tell me the inside of my card should be. And this is where my pencil lines tell me my saying should be. Your Stamparatus comes with 2 magnets. I put duct tape on mine so that I can lift them up. And if they fly together, they aren't going to shatter. They're very strong magnets. There we go. Now we're going to ink this up, and to open your ink spot, grab something sharp. It could be this, it could be your take your pick tool. And between the clear and the base, I do this better. Sorry guys, I'm not going to be able to hold it and do it. Go right along there. And right along here. And then before you take it apart, this is Poppy Parade. This is the next thing you should do. Grab any kind of marker and write on the base what it is. Doesn't have to be perfect handwriting. You just have to be able to read it. Okay, Poppy Parade. There we go. I love, if you watch any of my videos or watch my lives, you know I primarily use ink spots. But look what happens when I pull it apart. I no longer know what that color is, so that's what we want to write on the bottom. Okay, we're going to ink, and we're going to ink by just touching our ink spot to the stamp. We're not going to push hard. I know pushing hard feels like you're getting more ink on your stamp, but you're actually doing the opposite, because what you're doing is pushing ink away from the ink pad, and that's working against you. So a few gentle taps. And with a Stamparatus, you can just ink again if it doesn't fall right. If you're using your block, just look at it and make sure you see ink on all your stamps. So this is where I'm going to give the muscle. Now, I will say, these are not our Stampin' Up! Papers. So if you're used to using inks on our Stampin' Up! Papers and they just play so beautifully together, sometimes you have to give this one a little more help. Let's see how we did. So for me, I want this a little darker. So, and it looks like my little Y didn't catch, and it could be my magnet got in the way. So we're going to move it, and all we're going to do is ink again. Nothing's moved. So let's see how we did that time. I don't think I pushed on the Y before. Oh, that's much better. I have a fiber from my ink spot on here. Let's see if I can grab it. Oh, look at that, and it didn't even leave any ink. This is our good day. All right. I'm still stuck feeling like I didn't catch that Y. So we can just ink up that corner. Come back in. There we go. Oh, so much better. Oh, so we have that done. All right. Let's look at the next step on our kit. This is, guys, really, you're going to be surprised. You could make a lot of Christmas cards relatively quick. You know, if you're like me, running behind and need to get cards out. So we have done step 1. Step 2 tells me to take it from this set right here. I'm going to take the card base that I've stamped, and let's follow the directions. The directions say to place this orange over these leaves and next to these red berries. So I'm going to use the picture as my guide. The berries are showing, part of this is showing, but less of the leaves are showing. So that goes there. It's not rocket science. Put it where you like it. We're done with step 2. Step 3 says to take one of the larger oranges. And do you see these open circles? That means it's time for dimensionals. So we're going to take the dimensionals that came in the kit, and when you have a new page like this, the easiest way is just to fold it, and then you can grab what you need. So we're going to grab 3 of them, and they're coming from this page. These are not stickers. They are more die cuts, so you need some way of attaching them to your card. And these will add a little more interest. The dimensionals add, hence the name dimension, or they pop them up. You just need 3, and you can pull them off the back with your take your pick tool, which has somewhere left my table, so the end of your snips work too. Or I bet some of you have great fingernails. I can't always catch them. So we want to get rid of those little pieces right there. And then when I'm looking at the directions, it's down from the orange. It's kind of covering up the rest of this spot. But again, do it the way you want. No one's going to know whether you follow the directions exactly. It's your card. Now, it tells me to cut 12 inches of twine. Here's your twine. Let's talk a second about getting a roll of twine started. There we go. You know, we think we want to start from either end. We don't. We want to start from the center. And what I do is I just kind of run my finger over it. And usually, there we go. See, it's wound in in the middle, not on the end. And then pull it. So this has measurements right here. And it has both standard, what we would call standard, and metric. Because I have grid paper out, I'm just going to use this. And it said 12 inches. Those of you who have watched me know I have a hard time crafting unless I have grid paper. I like to have that. I love that we sell these big sheets of grid paper. Okay, so then it shows me that I'm going to take the cinnamon sticks and make a little bow around them. So here they are. Now, I'm going to show you, this does not come in the kit, but if you've ordered any of the other kits, or if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, speaking of loving kits, you have pages of these little glue dots, and for me that's always easier to tie a bow with a glue dot. So it looks like the bow is going this way, like so, and we're going to pop it off, and then we'll take our 12-inch piece, again not exact, we're just going to kind of find the center and put that towards the back and tie our knot right over that glue dot, and that will hold it in place. And you certainly could do it without it if this is your first experience with paper crafting and you don't have a glue dot anywhere. There we go. Now I'm going to turn this up because my bows just seem to land the right way if I do it upside down. Not a clue why. So for me to make a bow, I do a loop and a loop, and I knot the loops. You do it however it works for you. And then I kind of play with it. Like, I just pull on these until I kind of get the bows about where I want them in terms of how big I want them to be. And I knot it one more time. This makes sure that my loops do not kind of get wonky again or don't come undone. So I'm going to knot it one more time now that I have them where I want them. There we go. And it's supposed to look a little rustic, guys. It's okay. It's not a perfect bow. So my strings are hanging down, but I'm not going to trim them yet till I know where they fall on the card. We're at step 4. And notice that I have those open circles again. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. And it looks like they put one here. And so here's what I'm doing. I'm looking at where they put them, partly because it's going to line up with something else there, so you kind of want to follow where they're suggesting a place that works best. We'll peel off the back. And then they just kind of laid it like right here. What you might want to do at this point is close the card so you don't have it coming off the edge of the card. But they just kind of have it laying next to it there. Like so. Now I'm probably going to trim up some of this extra. There we go. And then they're telling me that little tag that we stamped, that has, oh, right here. They're telling me that gets 2 dots, 2 dimensionals at one end. So I'm going to turn it over, making sure that it's going the right way, and put 2 dimensionals at that end. And see how it's at the end of the saying? The reason you only want to put them at that end is because this is already popped up, and then you won't have layers and layers of dimension. So, and they put theirs on top. I'm going to stick mine underneath. And you know, we can do that because it's our card. We can put it wherever we want. Finally, last step, we're going to go back to this page of stickers, and they took 2 of them. And they added them to the card. This is going to slip right under here. And this one's going to slip up here. Okay. Check out this card. And really, I'm chatting away, taking more time than I would if I was creating. And it still came together. Isn't that pretty? And hence the saying for the inside, aren't you glad it's Christmas? I love this kit. Such an easy way to make Christmas cards. Maybe you're somebody who doesn't want a lot of craft supplies around your house. You can make up these 12 cards. You may have a couple little tags left, but you'll have a stamp set and an ink spot, not taking up a lot of room, and you'll have handmade your Christmas cards. How great is that? So the item number for this and any other information you can find below in my blog. In a blog post I've linked below this video. If you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube video. You'll get a notice each Monday when I post. And after Christmas, I'll have a different video posted each Monday. Hey, thanks for joining me. It's fun to have you in my scrapping space. Until next time, take care, stay well, and keep creating. It's good for you.